Merry Christmas everyone, Abdullah here from Freedom for All. In this video, I would talk about few things that you may do daily. Practicing these on a daily basis might keep you in a good state and eventually would produce good experiences in your external world. Number one is to consciously spend at least 5 minutes with your inner conversation. Inner speech, as I said in many other videos, is something we always spend time with, but we are not always aware of it. If you consciously spend at least 5 minutes with your desired inner conversations every day, you would see a massive change in your mood. This is something Neville suggested in one of his lectures, where he said, "Spend 5 minutes, sit down quietly with yourself and carry on wonderful inner conversations from fulfilled desire. May I tell you, no power in the world can stop it from coming to fulfillment. It must accomplish that which I please." So you are being pleased with this inner mood, and you do it. By practicing it daily, you are most likely to be habituated with observing your normal inner conversation, because if you practice it daily, even for 5 minutes, for most part of the day, you would have it on your mind that you have spent some time consciously with your desired inner talking. Having it on your mind makes it easy for you to observe mental affirmations of most parts of the day. And by observing them, you build your experiences, as inner speech is the ultimate imaginal act. About it, Neville said, "Observe what you are doing on the inside, in little tiny speech movements, and they're crystallizing in the manifested world round about you. With words or inner talking, we build our world." It is not supposed to be a very complicated thing, and it does not even cost a single thing to spend time with self-talk, where you express gratitude, love, happiness, and fulfillment of your dream. It does not have to be something you affirm out loud all day long. It can be something you can do in silence, and I can tell you that in silence, you can get a lot of clarity on many things of your life. One other thing about inner conversation, try to express gratitude in your inner speech, because gratitude can do wonders in life. There is a video on gratitude linked here, where it is explained how powerful gratitude can be. The second thing among the 5 things is to revise the unpleasant event of the day. If there is any event that you didn't like, imagine how it would be if the event was different and if you liked it. I know your mind would not be convinced with the revised scene, but do it and believe in your wonderful imagination. You would see how things change in life. You can either do it at the end of the day, or you can do it instantly after experiencing the undesired event. This choice is entirely yours. I can tell you, revision is quite powerful. To revise, you don't have to convince the rational mind. You can revise for the sake of forgiving the bad and experiencing the good in your imagination. After all, imagination is the only reality. The third thing has multiple easy work. These are not even work. These are some activities most of us do, I suppose. The third thing out of 5 daily habits involve reading good books or poems, participating in good conversations with people you love, and listening to good songs or music. Neville has a quote on this, which is, "Spend some time daily in preparing your mind by reading good literature, listening to good music, and entering into conversations that ennoble." When you read good books or poems, you start to feel good and you experience a good mood. You can read any type of book that keeps you in a good mental state. So often I prefer poems because they are shorter in length, and for poetries there is nothing left to read for the next day. And by the way, mystical poetries are my favorites to read. In addition, you can spend a couple of minutes with the people you love talking. It doesn't have to be face-to-face conversation. It can be audio or video chat. It can even be done through virtual written messages. I prefer to chat via writing messages because I feel it takes a lot less time than verbal communications. Furthermore, you can listen to good music or good songs for some time of the day. It would make you feel good. Now, all types of music are good, but if you comfortably get sad by listening to sad music, then probably it would not be very good for you. I think it is easier to be with the cheerful songs or instrumental pieces. I almost listen to all types of music, but I feel instrumental music, preferably classical or new age music, are the best to keep me in a good mood. The next thing I would suggest is to practice mastering the attention towards the subjective world. Our attention is mostly towards the objective 3D world. I think being attentive more to the subjective world is very, very important in the journey of conscious manifestation, because where we are consciously attentive to the subjective world is reflected out in the objective world. Neville has suggested something like a technique to follow in order to master the attention. This is a technique to master the attention. If you can master this technique to be more attentive, even for some specific things of the objective world, you can definitely master your attention into the subjective world. I'll show what Neville said about it. He said, night after night, just before you drift off to sleep, strive to hold your attention on the activities of the day in reverse order. Focus your attention on the last thing you did, that is, getting into bed, and then move it backwards in time over the events until you reach the first event of the day, getting out of bed. This is no easy exercise, but just as a specific exercises greatly help in developing specific muscles, this will greatly help in developing the muscle of your attention. This may not seem so easy at the beginning, but it is quite powerful. Just practice placing your attention on each of the activities of the day. Start with the most recent one. Recall each of the things you did throughout the day. You can even visualize if you want. You don't necessarily have to remember all the things you did. Just practice being attentive to the things you remember. Doing this would develop the muscle of your attention, as Neville said. The last thing here, and the most important thing, is to be aware of your infinite self. The real nature of you is not who you are in flesh. The real nature of you is your infinite imagination, infinite consciousness in action. To be more aware of it means to pay more attention to your true self, also known as I am. We have seen Neville saying that you pay attention to the headlines tomorrow morning, you pay attention to something else tomorrow. Are you paying any attention to I am? I am is your true nature. It is the source of everything we experience. The best way for me to pay attention to my true self is practicing self-inquiry meditation. Usually, after I do this, I feel more aware of my own essential reality. According to Neville, it is a good practice to fall asleep feeling, recognizing, and knowing self as the infinite being. I prefer to do it right before sleeping, but it can be done anytime. The goal is to be aware of true self. Even when you get more aware of your true self in a specific inner conversation, you are meditating on your divinest infinite self in your world. Whatever the way it is very important to place self-awareness on the truest nature of self. So that pretty much was it from today. I thought of making this video on the special occasion of Xmas, wishing you the happiest holidays. Cheers.